Hello, beloved. This is Lainie Love Dalby. I'm a transformational catalyst, the cosmic creatrix of the Sacred Revolution Oracle, and the founder of the Ecstatic Embodied Leadership Academy. And today I'm thrilled to be here with you to do an oracular astrology reading around the new moon in Libra today, and also Mercury retrograde that we are still in, and the 6 planets total that are in retrograde as well. And so today, the new moon is in Libra, and Libra is a cardinal air sign. It's the archetype of the peacekeeper and the diplomat and the artist and the one who creates beauty, the one who brings balance, the one who's here to do relationships in a new way. And so I really love that this moon in whole sign is in the 9th house of growth and learning and expansion. And also Venus and Mercury are conjunct together in Virgo in the 8th house of transformation. So it feels like a real opportunity to come into relationships and right relationship and partnership in a whole new way, in a learning journey, and really reflecting and looking at where we want to do things differently. And really knowing that with the stuff of our lives in general, we can make art instead of strife. We can really seek towards peace and harmony and balance, which Libra represents. And so this feels like a time that is ripe for renegotiating sacred agreements with ourselves and our relationship with ourselves and our relationships with others and our relationships with the world and the earth. And it's an ideal time to reset relationships, to tweak patterns in our togetherness, and to cultivate a more refined sense of how we can be together in a good way, knowing that real connection is something that is deep nourishment and soul food for us. And especially in this season, we can really look at that deeply, and knowing that codependence constricts our capacity to connect, and independence and interdependence really support each other in our creation of the new earth. And so the 6 planets right now that are retrograde, including Mercury, that's just showing us that nothing is really going to be so straightforward, but it is a great time for renegotiating things that are no longer in service and reconsidering everything, rewriting all new codes for our lives and for who we're here to be now. And so in terms of, Mercury retrograde specifically, I wanted to talk a little bit about that, because sometimes there can be fear around Mercury retrograde, but there's really nothing to be scared of, because it's such a potent time for deep diving within, for introspection, and even shadow work, which is one of my favorite things to facilitate, since I am an advanced shadow work facilitator. And, it's a time to bring up and out really deep emotions, to help us shine a light on what we need to bring greater awareness to. So it's great for emotional work and bringing up that which needs to be cleared. And so during Mercury retrograde periods, the reason people have fear is because unexpected things can happen with travel or communication or our devices and our time. So it's really important to make space for introspection here, to take stock, time to dream and to emote and to cleanse and to rest and to be in a space where you're filling your cup up with nourishment. And it's also not a great time for big major decisions or signing contracts or really setting things into stone. It's not business as usual, right? And so it's a great time to look at re-words. So rethink, reconsider, revise, reflect, retrace our steps, especially with all these planets retrograde. Reverse, renegotiate, remember, review, repair. All of these words are really excellent. It's a great time for do-overs, if we want to do things in a different way. And I would say especially around relationships. If we're ready to step into relationship, partnership, whatever it might be of how we're dancing with others in the relational field, if we're willing to step in and do that in a new way now, in a way that's healthy and harmonious and balanced and supportive. And so that really feels like a big opportunity for this particular new moon today, setting new intentions, new sacred agreements of how we want to relate. And I really love the cards that came through for today too, because it's so connected to these themes and this medicine, and is in such deep support to really what is here for us now. And so I'm going to show you the cards first and then go in deeper to them. So we have card 31, which is the Create Sacred Containers of Partnership card. And so just taking that in, this feels very, this card is associated with the Libra archetype. So really doing relationships in a whole new way. 43, remember that all life is sacred. And this card is about right relationship, so it's also so suited to what we're talking about here today. Number 12, this is the blood, breath, and bones of the earth card. Just taking that in. And then number 40, follow the call of your soul. And I know this one has come up recently as well, and I think this is actually one of the first times that this card has come up, so very excited about that. So to go into these a little bit deeper, this is really the card of soulmates, of being in our deep connection. It's the divine lover archetype, which Libra is definitely a lover. It is ruled by Venus, and it really is also the body as the beloved. So being in a sacred partnership with our own body, our own being. And it can really be about the birth of a new relationship, but bringing that harmony and balance and deep intimacy, the into me see, and the relational consciousness, really bringing consciousness to relationships at this time. And so this idea of really not only being in our union within, sacred union with our own masculine, divine feminine energies as one, but also coming into holy union with others as well. And really being committed to continue to learn and grow together in all of your partnerships, and commit to upholding each other's highest and best good, even when it's challenging, right? And so being willing to lovingly shift, to renegotiate, to feel into your sacred contracts that you have, your sacred agreements, to be able to suit your evolutionary growth and transformation here, and to really allow yourself to come into this deep right relationship with others, with self, with other, and to really allow those containers to support you in stepping into more of your wholeness, more of your own inner harmony and balance, and who you're here to be now, as really a great and great service to your overall stepping into the next level of who you're here to be. And it's also about playful collaboration. So it doesn't have to be intense and deep diving. Even shadow work can be very fun and playful, in a guided experience in certain contexts. And so it is this great co-creation of life together. You are coming together to co-create this container, and with love, and with the illumination of the dragonfly, and with the vision of the eagle, and with the passion of the lava, bringing that forward out into the world in service to you and your container, but also to all those who are around you. So really coming into balance with self, others, and all of the web of all life. And so that really ties in beautifully with this card, because remembering all life is sacred, this is about coming into right relationship and integrity with the web of all life, with all things around us. And this card does have some elements of doing deeper shadow work, of really looking at the places where we're still coming from the unconscious, where we still are not in our full consciousness, in our full essence and light and radiance, and how that might be leading us. Because a lot of times how we relate to others is coming from an unconscious place. So the more shadow work we do, the more soul retrieval we do, the more that we bring all of ourself online into consciousness, we are able to lead, to love, to be in relationship with others from that conscious place, instead of that shadowy place in the unconscious, where we're doing things out of motivations that aren't in alignment with our highest good, and they're coming from a wound. And so this really enables us to step into right relationship. So really looking at this new moon as you're setting intentions, where is it that you want to come into a right relationship with yourself, with the world around you, with the earth as well, with Mother Nature? Since we have the North Node in Taurus and Uranus is still hanging out, near there, bringing the change and transformation and the shock waves around that. The North Node in Taurus is an invitation to a greater, more intimate relationship with the earth, with our bodies, with all of life. And so this is really, again, another invitation into intimacy. So where is it that you can allow yourself to be vulnerable that perhaps you've been holding back? Where can you allow yourselves to share more of who you are with those you love in your life without fear of losing love or belonging, but instead standing in your truth, standing in your vulnerability, standing in what is real for you, and knowing that those are meant to be in your life? That's going to attract them to you even more because they're getting to see you. They're getting to know you. And that is the gift of us being in the relational space together. That is the gift of Libra season at this time, being able to really come into connection with each other in a good way that's in service to all involved and that uplifts everyone around them, right? And so how can you come into negotiations? How can you come into sacred agreements that are really going to support you in meeting your highest ideal, in really helping you step into the next level of your highest self, your potential, and who you're here to be, and individually and collectively? Because the most profound relationships are those that are supporting, mutually supportive of our growth, of who it is we're becoming, and of really stepping into our fullness, our full light, our full essence, our full remembrance, and being able to see and witness and uphold each other in that. And for that to be an incredible experience of joy and upliftment. And just being that we passed through the fall equinox portal, which initiated Libra season, well, depending on where you are in the world, the equinox portal, I'll just leave it simply at the equinox portal. And really that is supporting us in giving thanks, in being in gratitude for all that we have reaped and sown. So looking at all the places and really looking at our life, like, where are we so grateful for all the connections we already have, for the friends, whether it's partnership or whether you have a spouse or whether you're dating somebody? Like, how can you just be in such profound gratitude for this being, for this person, for the people that are in your lives? And who can you say thank you to today for their presence, in remembrance that they are sacred? They are holy, and their presence in your life is a holy gift, for we are all mirrors for each other. We are all teachers when we come into the relational space together. So just really wanting to encourage you, who can you say thank you today and honor and give gratitude for on this journey that you were in the relational space with? And how can you honor their sacredness and uphold that and really support them in that and stepping into more of their truth and their consciousness here. And the next card, the blood, breath, and bones of the earth, this feels very connected to coming into right relationship with the earth, with the ancestors, with the nature spirits, with the beings and the indigenous beings and spirits in the land, with really honoring where we have come from, honoring our own roots, coming into right relationship with our own roots and the places where our ancestral lineage might have been in grave misalignment and out of integrity, and making amends for your lineage if that is needed as well. And so in the relational space, really looking at family lineage and where are things out of alignment in your ancestral lineage, but also with the land and the direct land that you live on. How can you come into a more symbiotic relationship with the land you live on? Perhaps if you're somebody who believes in synchronicity and signs and animal medicines, and when you find a feather on the ground and you're like, oh, that's for me, and you take it with you, but being mindful, what are you offering in exchange? How are you in right relationship? How are you in the relationship of giving and receiving and being in this symbiotic flow? And, whether it's offering a crystal or a stone that you bless, whether it's offering a song, whether it's offering a piece of your hair, offering something in exchange for gifts that you receive from the earth, and really being in a consciousness that is not the extracting dominator culture model, because there is so much grave extraction that we are doing without concern, without reciprocity, without being in right relationship, which is why we are in such a state as we are with our climate crisis. And so this is coming into right relationship with the greater world around us, with the earth, with this blue-green pearl that we are floating on, hurling through space together. This beautiful blue-green pearl, as one of my mentors refers to it as. And, it's just really looking at how can we come into a deeper, more intimate relationship with the earth, intimacy with all of life, intimacy with nature, with the wind, with the waters, with the soil, with the plants, with the flowers, with the trees, with the animals, and allowing ourselves to know that that also is a way that we can come into greater harmony and balance in our lives, is by coming into a harmonious and balanced relationship with the earth around us, that is under our feet, that is under our homes, that is the foundation for literally where we stand, that is where we root in here on earth. And so really considering that in this relational space and in this renegotiation of how do you want to show up for the earth? How do you want to show up for your lineage? How do you want to show up for the spirits in the land and honor them, the indigenous spirits of the land? And if you're not sure of what indigenous lands you live on yet, I can put the link below this video of where you can look up the native land for your zip code, and you can honor the indigenous peoples from where you are from and really be in right relationship with them. Ask them what they need. Ask them if anything is needed for the land. Are there any different offerings that are needed? And really be in communication and honoring to come into that right relationship. And that sacredness, remembering the sacredness of all life, all around you, and especially the earth. And that is also creating a sacred container of partnership with the earth. What if we all collectively came up with a sacred container of partnership with the earth and came into new sacred agreements of how we're going to treat the earth, of how we're going to be in communion with the earth, with each other, how that would change things, how that would shift things, how that would lead us into such a more profoundly beautiful and meaningful relationship with this home that we have here in the cosmos. And so the next card that came through is Follow the Call of Your Soul. And this card is about life purpose. It's about destiny. It's about following your truth to your soul home and the fact that your truth is your soul home. And it's about soul-led curriculum and really trusting the divine plan unfolding. And so in this, in the journey to wholeness, and as part of that, being in relational space is a part of that. And so how can we listen to the call of our soul? How can we get to know ourselves so deeply that we can really listen and follow that felt sense of truth in our bodies, especially when it comes to relating with others? Because certain times we let our boundaries be violated. We don't listen to our no. We don't fully tune in to what it is that we most need for ourselves, and we abandon ourselves relationally. And that's when we get into codependent patterns that are not in service to our collective freedom. And so really being mindful of where might you slip into codependent patterns, where might you negate your own no for somebody to continue to have love and belonging and connection and be in relationship? Where is it that, you might compromise yourself and not listen to your truth? You might feel it and you might literally say something totally different. And then your stomach turns in knots, and then you might get sick the next day, or, something might happen and you have to call out of work sick for a week because you really didn't want to do the thing that you said you would do. And then something else had to happen for you to actually honor your truth, which was a no. Right? And so it's like allowing yourself in that relational space too to be really clear with your boundaries and what is in service to you, is not always in service to the other, and vice versa. And so that's what we need to do. We need to come into that place where we're negotiating with our own boundaries, our own needs, and coming into a dance together, a tango of sort that is really supportive to all involved instead of compromising ourselves in any way. And so following the call of the soul, knowing thyself, getting to know that felt sense of truth so that you can follow it, especially relationally, so that you don't abandon yourself, so that you don't abandon your truth around others, for others that you might love and care about, right? And so this is a really important process of coming into right relationship with others. We must honor our boundaries and our needs, and if we don't, we can build up resentment, and then that can end up in all sorts of chaos and problematic situations. And so I think this card really came in as a reminder, to really be mindful of listening to our own barometer of truth as we relate to others. And also listening, especially when we meet new people or when we're engaging in certain circumstances, if something in our body feels like, if you're feeling red flags, if you're feeling something that's telling you like, something isn't right here. Something doesn't feel right. Or if you're about to sign a contract with somebody and you get this sense in your body that you're like, wait, something isn't right, to not negate that felt sense of truth in your body and to investigate deeper, especially with Mercury retrograde right now. Look a little deeper. Okay, what is this about? Really look in introspection. Like, why am I feeling this way? Why is this coming up? Like, what is it that is showing me that something might be out of alignment? And our body is such an important barometer for our truth, especially relationally, right? Because immediately our body can get a response when we're in the relational field. If we're in a place where we feel unsafe, right, our body immediately responds, and we know like, oh, I need to get out of here. Something does not feel right about where I am right now. I need to leave, right? And so it's like when we really get close and follow close to our bodies, it really helps us in the relational space. It helps us show up in a way where we can be in greater integrity, where we can honor our boundaries, where we can honor what it is that we need, and we can communicate that with love and vulnerability to say, you know what, I really love you and I would really love to spend time with you right now, and I can sense that you're really stretched and it feels like we might need and want different things. So how can we renegotiate and come to a place of understanding so that we can both receive our needs and also still remain in a place of love and connection and vulnerability and truth and intimacy? And that is one of the greatest challenges and gifts of being in the relational space, is really saying like, this is who I am, this is what I need, and meeting another and who they are and what they need, and coming into these sacred agreements, coming into this relational dance in a way that helps to lift all of us up. Right? That helps us to come home to more of ourselves, that helps us to remember, because we do remember more of ourselves relationally. It is one of the reasons why one of my deepest passions is gathering people in Sacred Circle, because it is in Sacred Circle that we have this deep sense of remembrance, because we are surrounded by mirrors to show us who we are, to help us really see the truth and to not forget, to not go back into that place of forgetfulness, because the world around us is supporting us and stepping into forgetfulness all the time, with media, with commercials, with these things that are saying, you're not okay as you are, you need this, what about this? Oh, I think you need to do this, and it's really in this place where it starts to stretch you to where you forget, wait, who am I? What am I doing? How do I want to relate? And we can get swept up in that instead of staying in our aligned truth and who we are and who we're here to be. And so allowing us to come together in the relational space in a way that is deeply supportive to our purpose, to our shining our full light, to being in our full essence, to coming back home fully to ourselves and to each other. And when we allow that space of intimacy and really seeing each other in deep sacredness and allowing these containers of intimacy where we can be seen in our full vulnerability and our light, and we can meet each other, this is what supports profound transformation. This is what supports co-creating that new earth. This is what supports us stepping into the next level of who we're here to be. And so meeting each other relationally this Libra season with such beauty and grace to come into greater harmony, to come into greater balance, to come into greater relationship and right relationship with the land, with all of life all around us, remembering that all life is deeply sacred, and getting to know those parts of ourselves that are unconscious and guiding our connections with others, and bring them to consciousness so that we can relate in a way that is authentic to our truth, where we're tuned into that truth and that deeper soul call, where we know and can listen and follow that homeward bound to more of our truth, more of our destiny. And with that North Node in Taurus as well, more of our destiny of being connected to the earth, being connected to Gaia in an intimate way. How can we really return now into intimacy with the earth and really allowing that in? And, astrologically right now we are in Jupiter in Aries, which is a very expansive, fiery energy. And we're in this nodal wave until the middle of next year. And, Jupiter is going to go back into Pisces at the end of the year just for a bit and then pop back into Aries before it goes into Taurus. So we're going to have another expansive time of Taurus energy of over a year of Jupiter expanding the energies of Taurus. So we're in a Taurian journey, which is coming back to our ecstatic embodiment. It's coming back to the earth. It's coming back to an intimacy with the earth. And so this is a great opportunity to plant some more of those seeds with our North Node of Destiny, since this card is about destiny and is associated with the North and South Node, really coming into that greater place of setting our intentions for how we want to relate deeper in that Taurian way with our bodies, with the earth, with each other, in greater intimacy with all of life. And so that really feels like the medicine that wanted to come through for today. And while we are still in Mercury retrograde, this is an excellent time. And even as we're moving into eclipse season, it's excellent time for deep diving within. Shadow work right now is going to be super powerful, and you're going to be able to retrieve all sorts of medicine. Also, soul retrieval and different shamanic work, healing work would be really powerful right now. And we're actually having a special on both of those, on shadow work and shamanic healing sessions right now. They are discounted for this season to encourage you to step in and do the work now. You can find out more about that below. And also, it is the last opportunity to step in for the live Q&A for the Oracle deck creation course. So if you were interested in creating your own Oracle deck, the course is still available, and the live Q&A is coming up this Wednesday on the 28th of September. So if you are interested in getting in on that live Q&A to really ask all the questions you have around creating your own Oracle deck, now is the time to step in. And so there's more info about that below as well. And of course, as usual, if you have a lot moving for you and you need a more tailored reading, the one-on-one oracular astrology readings are a really powerful way to step in, especially during this Mercury retrograde and eclipse season approaching, to support you in the transformation that is afoot and to prepare you as you put your seatbelt on for the Scorpio Taurus eclipse portal that is coming. And so happy to support you in that. More info below as well for that. And just so looking forward to supporting you on the journey and sending much love and looking forward to seeing you next time. So bye for now, beloved.